For a time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to episode 25 of the Dumb Marks podcast. We appreciate you tuning in on this cold Saturday morning here in pretty much the entire United States, except for Florida, which, as Jason tweeted or said on Facebook, is Satan's ass.
Pretty much.
Doesn't your sister live in Florida?
Yeah, that's another reason.
Yeah. So
love her dearly.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to everybody that watches on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell. You get notifications. Shout out to India, France, UK, Australia. You guys for supporting the Dumb Marks International. We appreciate you guys across the pond and around various parts of the globe. Gentlemen, how's everything going? How was your week? We doing good this week? What's going on with everybody?
Doing good. Long week at work. Oh man, it was rough.
Yeah, Chris, what do you? I know you said you had a dream last night that woke you up.
I did. I'm gonna say that for bell to bell. There's wrestling involved, so we're gonna say that for bell to bell.
That you may be watching too much wrestling if you're dreaming about it.
It's the first wrestling dream I've had in a while.
Yes, sir.
Did anyone enjoy any fish fries this week?
Yeah, I was gonna say Lent kicked off this week for all you Catholics out there. No Mardi Gras. No Mardi Gras this year, which was, I know, a huge disappointment. I'm too old to do Mardi Gras down in New Orleans. I still want to go to New Orleans, but I don't think I'd want to go during Mardi Gras. Too many people, too crazy for me. But I did not. We made I made some salmon at the house last night and cooked that up. I didn't go out and venture out to any fish fries yesterday, but here in Pittsburgh, they're a big hoo-ha. A lot of debate on who has the best fish fry as people get into it and argue, so on and so forth. So I did not partake. I will, though, during the course of Lent for sure. But yeah, no, yesterday I stayed in the house.
First time experience for me. It was pretty good. I've never done it. Never seen the hype, but yeah, it was good.
My favorite post I saw online yesterday was shout out to everyone that had sex before marriage but can't eat meat on Friday because it's a sin.
Yeah, I've never given up meat, so.
Yeah, I do the no meat on Fridays, and I'll give up something for Lent like I do every year, but we tend to stay away from the religion and politics topics just because there's no need to get into those things. We like to keep it upbeat, lighthearted, and that. But yeah, we maybe one day when we're on Patreon, we'll get into a special on that to break that down and get some feelings out of it.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I did go to. I went to Westwood Rogue Barbecue over in West Mifflin. I've had their food before, but for the first time that I actually went there and tried their fish, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's directly across the street from my house. I literally see the golf course from my house. So it's a public golf course. It's not. Believe me, I'm on a main road and right next to Kennywood. So don't sit over here thinking I'm in some rich gated community. Yeah,
I got an MGF scarf you can start wearing.
No, this is by no means bougie boy Steve over here. That's for sure. So All right, well, let's get into it. What you guys see this week in the intro? Anything catch your eye that we normally go through as far as, TV series, games, movies? Would you watch anything like that?
The Mortal Kombat trailer is like the hottest thing this week.
Oh boy, I am excited. I cannot wait.
Bring out the teenager in me. Jeez.
I think I'm gonna go back and officially watch Mortal Kombat 2 just to keep it alive.
I think with the way that technology and CGI has progressed in movies over the years, it'll come off way better than when the first Mortal Kombat came out in 94, 95, I think.
Somewhere around there.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did see a lot of people upset about certain characters that were not present in the first trailer that dropped. So a lot of Johnny Cage fans out there that was a little upset with him not being shown. And I think trying to remember there was one other character that wasn't shown that people were up in arms about too. So we'll see. I'm definitely pumped up for it. Like yes. I will be watching it 100%, no doubt.
Was Barack in there? Was he an original?
He was in the second one, Annihilation.
Yeah, he wasn't original.
Okay.
Especially since it'll be on HBO Max. So yeah, I'm definitely watching it.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's what everybody was up in arms about that.
It was decent until they got to like the Sub-Zero versus Scorpion battle. And as soon as he turned out blood into an icicle, I was like, I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah, I thought the graphics were pretty awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like Steve said, the tech now for movies is going to make that a lot better.
You mean the opening scene when Sub-Zero freezes Jax's arms off and busts them up, and that's how you see, like, that didn't get you right there?
That's Jimmy Olsen. That dude, the character, the dude who plays him, I see him too much in Small. He's S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever his name is in Supergirl.
Yeah, no, I think it'll. Yeah, I think.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that.
As soon as they didn't tap Ronda
for Sonya, they didn't tap Ronda for Sonya Blade.
No.
Didn't seem like they had any real big names.
That's good.
Yeah. So hopefully that means that they're just trying to stay with the story.
Yeah. I know another trailer that dropped that is near and dear to Donald's heart based off of who was in it was Cruella with Emma Stone.
Did you watch it yet?
No, I didn't. I'm gaming. I'm gaming right now. Whenever I game, stuff gets pushed to the wayside.
Yeah. So I get my daughter and I will watch that. She still has not seen the original 101 Dalmatians, so I don't know if that means I failed as a parent, but yeah, I'll get her to watch that, and then we'll watch Cruella whenever that comes out.
You got Disney Plus, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's on there. I know. Yeah.
Raya and the Last Dragon. I really want to see that new cartoon coming out.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
that's gonna be one of those ones that you have to pay extra for, though.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it.
That's March 5th.
Yeah,
that looked good. And speaking of Disney Plus, you see Golden Girls is coming to Disney Plus?
I did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Golden
Girls. I was never a fan.
Yeah, Golden Girls is coming to Disney Plus. And then
it's on Hulu right now, so you can still watch it if you have Hulu, but I think it'll get more traction on Disney.
Yeah,
Disney got one got to go Golden Girls edition.
Don't do that. That'll start a riot. Don't do that.
I agree.
Also saw with Disney Plus, they announced Marvel Studios revealed a new series called Assembled, and it's going to be behind the scenes on the Disney Plus shows that they make. So obviously the first one is going to be about WandaVision because that was the first series that dropped. So you'll get the behind the scenes, the ins and outs, peel back the curtain to see how they came up with the storyline and what all it went into production and all that stuff, and maybe some additional backstory. So something else just to keep your eye on. as far as that goes for series with Marvel characters. And then I also saw Disney Plus that, well, not necessarily Disney Plus, but eventually it will be. Marvel Studios got the rights back to The Punisher and Jessica Jones.
Interesting.
So I love The Punisher on Netflix. Great show. Jessica Jones was okay too, but I really enjoyed The Punisher. So I'm hoping that'll come back and get a reboot on Disney Plus. I know the original actor, I forget his name, but he's come out before and said that, you know, he hopes it gets picked back up because he would like to come back and continue the role as Punisher. So looking forward to that as well.
Shane from The Walking Dead. That's where I remember him from.
What else did I see? Speaking of, since we're on like Marvel and superhero stuff,
did you catch up on WandaVision?
Yeah, I did watch WandaVision. Great episode. I read up on stuff this morning for breakdowns as far as all the little Easter eggs and the meaning behind the commercial and all that stuff. So once it goes off in 2 weeks and the series finale takes place, maybe we'll wait a week or two and then actually dive into it and break it down, because it is a fantastic,
like an hour finale.
It's a fantastic show.
It just seems like it's not enough.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And give me more Catherine Hahn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked this week's episode. She got some extra time, which was good. So I'm interested in seeing. Now, last week I heard that the last 3 episodes were supposed to be an hour, but of course it wasn't this week. So I don't know if that means the next 2 are, or maybe just the last one. But hopefully we'll see get a little bit more time. Now it's the end.
Yeah.
Because this week, I think, I'm not trying to spoil anything here. I just think it just took a different turn than I was expecting.
Yeah.
You know, getting this close to the end.
I was expecting the reveal that they gave, but I don't think the person that they revealed is going to be the true mastermind.
Okay,
I'm with you. Mm-hmm.
I think there's somebody else there pulling on the strings.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I also saw, for us, given our age bracket, Batman '89, Michael Keaton's Dark Knight, is returning to the DC Comics.
Yeah.
So there'll be a 6-part series, I believe, coming out starting in I'm a dumb mark. July.
It's over the summer.
July 27th on digital platforms. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. It's being written by Sam Hahn, who was one of the original screenwriters for Michael Keaton's Batman, the first Batman that came out. So I'm super excited for that. It does take place based on that version of Batman and Gotham and the heroes and villains that surround that time frame and storyline. So I'm excited for that. I think that'll be really good.
They also announced with the same thing, Superman 78. So it'll take place at the same time, in between Superman 1 and 2, the Christopher Reeves movies. So yeah, that same thing, limited series, digital first. So I'm interested in that too.
Yeah, gaming wise, not much. I know, Donald, I think the big thing from this week out of Nintendo was the big Mario Golf Super Rush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched the presser this morning for it. Yeah, Mario Golf and the HD version of Windward Sky for Zelda. Was it? Yeah, and people's already complaining, saying the price is going to be $60 for the game, and you know, gamers already bitching about it. Just for HD, is going to be $60.
For HD?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's what Nintendo does now, though. They don't cut a lot of breaks unless it's like a more scaled down version of a game. That's the only time that you actually get the stuff. Like I've been playing the Super Mario 3D World this week, and that was technically a Wii U game that they just re-released for Switch. But you know, it was a $60 game, but they added a second game on top of it too. That Bowser's Fury.
Now, is that like an expansion, or is that just like you're not getting a full game, are you?
It's Bowser's Fury is a limited game. It's not a whole game. I got through one level so far of that one world. The Super Mario 3D World, that's the full game, and I think they changed some stuff up. But it's been pretty good. Like if you like Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey, any of those like 3D world games, it kind of takes that along with the 2D version of the old like Super Mario game, kind of like mixes them up together.
Okay.
And then I guess entertainment wise, TV show wise, documentary wise, the other two things that I saw that caught my eye: Netflix dropped the trailer for a documentary on Biggie Smalls. So that looked interesting. I was a sucker for those, like back in the day when VH1 used to do
behind the music
and that. Like I don't know, it's just something about those documentaries. Like I watched the ones that BET did with No Limit and the Rough Riders that were on over the summer, I think, or in the fall. Those were good 5-6 part documentary. So that was good. If you guys haven't watched the Britney Spears doc yet, I go watch it. It is.
I heard it was good.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Like,
is that on Netflix itself?
No, I think that's on. Is that on HBO Max? I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, that was
Britney Dance Beat game.
That's really good. And then last thing I saw, and this, I was debating on whether or not to bring this up in sports, but since we're talking about TV shows and that now, Russell Westbrook is executive producing a documentary on the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, and that'll be on History Channel this spring. So it's directed by Stanley Nelson and Marco Williams. So I think that'll be really good based off of them, who the directors are and that. Excited to watch that come out. I don't, there may not be people that are familiar with that event and that, unfortunate, I guess, not ugly part of our history, because a lot of the history is ugly here. But no, that'll be really good. I'm a huge history buff, so I'm super excited for that to come out, and hopefully that's done right.
Now you got Westbrook and Wilson jumping into the production roles on movies, which is good. Cross platforms, expand your brand.
Yeah, they're already thinking about life after
their career. Smart move.
Yeah, it's not just the shut up and dribble and athlete being athlete anymore. They're venturing out and getting into different things, which is always good. As we know, representation is huge. So the more things that they can get into with the eyes and the following that they have, just shows younger kids out there, hey, there's more than just ball. So big ups to them, and congratulations to Russell Westbrook on that. So like I said, I'm super excited for that, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on to see when the actual date of that is, when that drops. They didn't say, they just said coming this spring. So but I don't think I had anything else as far as entertainment goes, movie wise, TV show wise. Trying to think if there was anything else that I've been watching. I don't know who's a huge fan or not, but Criminal Minds. There was a scoop that Criminal Minds Revival is in early development at Paramount Plus.
I saw that, and it's only been off air, a year?
I think, a year or two at the most.
I never watched it, but that's crazy.
So Criminal Minds was one of those shows where it was so realistic that like it made me not want to watch it. There was a certain episode that involved like people breaking into a house and kidnapping a kid and everything else, and it was just the way that they shot it and everything else, and it was so realistic, and it was based out of a town somewhere in Pennsylvania where it happened. It was just like, it's like too close to home type of deal. So like I stopped watching Criminal Minds after that. But
is it almost like Unsolved Mysteries when we were kids?
Yeah, to that point. But like without the scary music and the dude's voice, that's still hard.
One of the I don't watch a lot of CBS dramas because a lot of times I feel like the episodes are just very repetitive. It's like a cookie cutter episode format, and that's
I don't know. There's a lot of good shows on right now. I think the best, I would say probably one of my favorite shows right now is Prodigal Son, but that's on Fox. That's done really well. That
but that's still running.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Second season started back up a couple of weeks ago, and that show is deep and crazy. I know Clarice, the TV version from the spinoff from Silence of the Lambs, that just started up.
Saw the first episode.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I have that saved on the DVR. I'll probably watch that today. Actually, the first 2 episodes.
I haven't watched. I saw Queen Latifah's The Equalizer now. I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get into that or not. Like, I'm fine with that just being a movie. I don't need that to be a TV series.
Yeah, I've seen it too many times already.
I mean, it was a TV series back in the day. So
yeah, from the original, then the Denzel movies. Like, I had enough of The Equalizer.
Yeah,
especially whenever it overlaps. Like, he's still kind of doing movies with it, So it's like, why have a TV series at the same time?
Yeah. So, but big stuff, big to do. I know my daughter's super excited about the Tom and Jerry movie that comes out next Friday. So, I think we will definitely be watching that next Friday night.
That feels too much like MC Scat Cat.
Yeah.
Too much Paula Abdul vibes.
I mean, I was a huge fan of Tom and Jerry growing up, so like I'll watch it just for the straight nostalgia purposes. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So, all right, if nobody got anything else, let's get into the fat kid version of our
I got
snack reviews.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Marshmallows. Reese switched up something finally.
Is that just a bag? There's nothing inside of it, is there?
I ate them all. Like, you eat one and it's like, okay, these are decent. Then you're like 5 in, you're like, I can't stop. They're good. They're good. And this here, that's keeping on the marshmallow thing.
That's what flavorists do. They put the chemicals and all that in there to make you feel like you're not eating, but they're so good that you keep shoveling them down until you're a bag deep and 4,000 calories are stacked up on you.
Now Dawn found these. Is his favorite candy
hot tamale? No, absolutely. Dawn, get them the hell out of here. That's as bad as your takes.
He hates Peeps. I love Peeps.
I love Peeps, but I don't need hot tamale Peeps.
I don't like
hate
Peeps.
candy.
I don't like Peeps either.
I love Peeps.
Yeah, I don't like Peeps, but I like hot tamales. It's not my favorite candy. It's not my favorite. Sour Patch Kids is my favorite. Yeah.
You gonna try one on there? There we go. Get the.
I already had I had like 3 of them. I'm on 15. But I love marshmallows, so.
I need my
taste nod, or is it just cinnamon like marshmallow?
It's a candy cinnamon taste.
Okay.
I need my Peeps to be a little bit on the stale side. I don't like them super fresh.
So we all eat Peeps besides Dawn?
No, I don't eat them either.
Yeah.
I hate Peeps.
Is it the marshmallow or the coating?
The marshmallow. I'm
like the
a big marshmallow person.
No. Who hates?
I don't like the Peeps marshmallows. I like other, just like the standard marshmallow. I get it, but I just don't like the Peeps marshmallows.
You don't like the coating.
And the coating.
It's a marshmallow.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like the way that it's set up.
From a logistical standpoint, Donald does not like the candy.
Well, since we're on candy, let's bring up the pick 3 this week. 90s candy edition of pick 3. You can only keep 3. This was not a hard choice for me. I ran through this rather easily.
How do you have ouch and not zebra stripe?
That's what I was thinking last night when I was looking at this.
I'll go first. One of my favorite things of the 90s was Dunkaroos. So I got to keep Dunkaroos. I'm not a pudding fan, but I love Jell-O pudding pops, so those can stay too. And the third one's a little tough, but one of my favorite candies was the Warheads from the 90s, so I think I'm going to keep them too.
Okay. I'm going to go Dunkaroos for sure. String things. I was thinking we'll go with that one. And then how do you not have Freezy Pops at all?
String thing was like the worst of like the Bigfoot gusher. Like that was like that was the just the generic, just cheap, not good at all version of that. That's like you have Twizzlers and then you have Red Vines. That's like the Red Vines of that.
But I'm a gummy guy. I'll eat gummy anything, so I'll stuck with that. Yeah.
All right, Donald, you can save your garbage take for last. I'm gonna go with Dunkaroos. I'm gonna go with Freezy Pops. You gotta have Freezy Pops. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And then I'll go with Rebel, and I'm keeping candy cigarettes. I mean, puff your powdered sugar smoke out, and then chomp on a candy cigarette. Like, yeah.
Well, mine is the candy cigarettes. I used to love them when I got them for Halloween. Like I said, I thought I was cool with that stuff. The Freezy Pops, you could never go wrong with that, and the Warheads, because I like sour stuff. So those are my three.
All right, no, I can't bash you for that.
The candy cigarettes. I'm surprised no one turned it into a smoker on here.
Are you hitting a candy cigarette right now, Jay?
Yeah, it don't work.
I wasn't sure if you were doing that or you were getting some CBD in you. Like,
you better watch out. You live on air, Come back into work, boy. Yeah, we need you to take something. We need a sample.
If you'd like to sponsor the show, please feel free to send us any products, and we will put you on right here at the end of the intro. So.
Yeah. Next week we're sponsored by Lucky Strike.
Hey, I'll pump Lucky Strikes till the day I hit the grave. So. All right, that's it for the intro. Man, we spent 30 minutes on the intro. All right, let's get into the rest of the show.
All right, boys and girls, welcome to Bell to Bell. I'm going to kick it off this week with my dream from last night. Last night, if you didn't watch, we did our Elimination Chamber prediction show. So go back to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, check that out before Elimination Chamber tomorrow night.
But I think Bell to Bell might be light on WWE this week since we covered. Well, there's some stuff I'll get on a soapbox for in a minute.
Well,
so I think that's the reason for my dream was us talking about Elimination Chamber last night. But I had a dream that Matt Riddle beat Lashley for the U.S. Championship, and then went on and defeated McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. Two belts Riddle. Not sure why I was dreaming about Matt Riddle winning because I'm not really a fan.
Did you eat like a bowl of ice cream late or something that caused you to have like that type of?
That's that fried fish or that po' boy.
The shrimp po' boy got you dreaming of Matt Riddle.
I was just terrible. Why? Like I woke up going, like, why? Yeah, I definitely don't want to see him holding any titles. Maybe US would be okay, but definitely not the main title.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's hop into WWE then, since you talked about Riddle and that in the chamber, and we're not going to spend time on the card itself. Like Chris said, go over to our YouTube channel and watch that prediction show that we did last night. But just general thoughts on the go-home shows for Elimination Chamber from both the Raw and SmackDown side of things.
Yeah.
SmackDown is good. I enjoy SmackDown.
SmackDown did the typical thing of, okay, everybody gets a spot at the end to take you into the pay-per-view. Raw did nothing for me.
Yeah, no.
But that's just typical with Raw.
So two things. Like, and this is common for go home shows, especially whenever it's like these types of pay-per-views where you're having a multi-man gimmick match. Like, Why do you have to end the go home show with everybody that's involved in the match in like some sort of variation tag match against each other? Like, why does that have to be done every single time?
Mm-hmm.
You can't come up with something else. Like, literally, out of everything, it's like, nah, let's just throw them in a 6-man. We'll split up the good guys versus the bad guys, and then there'll be, a big melee at the end, and that's how we'll go off the air. Literally, that's how it is every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it does nothing to get you excited for the pay-per-view.
It did nothing for any of the 6 members. Like, if it would have just been the 6 people in the match and one person stood tall, that'd be one thing.
SmackDown,
yeah.
SmackDown.
Okay.
But it did nothing because then Edge got involved, then Roman got involved.
Yeah.
So it's like you ended with Roman standing tall. Surprise, surprise. But, it's just like, so what did you need all that for?
You give Brian a pin, which means he's not winning.
Yeah.
True. Yep.
You give Sheamus the clean win, but, he's not winning.
So, yeah, that was one of the things that I was like, I just don't. It's every single time. Like, enough. It's bad enough that between pay-per-views we have the same 2 people that end up wrestling at the pay-per-view involved in every single match under the sun against each other, and then they actually have the pay-per-view match. It's bad enough, and then you do this every time there's a multi-man match. You'll see it again come Money in the Bank time. Whoever's in the Money in the Bank, they'll do the same thing again before Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Survivor Series.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's just it's lazy. It's lazy booking. It's lazy creative. It's like, we'll just do it so we get everybody on the show before, and that's how we'll go home. It doesn't get you excited for the pay-per-view at all.
But I feel it keeps you fresh on everybody than having them split out through segments. Yeah.
At least they were all out in the ring and they all didn't have to do like a run-in.
But why do you have to? I don't know.
You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't hook you.
Yeah. It's some type of version of that. It's either a 6-man tag, or it's a gauntlet match, or it's something. It's always something that just.
Or it could be like a 1-on-1, and then everybody runs in for a brawl.
I don't mind that.
And then the other thing that really, I guess, pissed me off last night, your opening segment, Edge is cutting a hell of a promo on Roman Reigns and is getting me really juiced up to see Edge and Roman. Like, I'm like, okay, I like what you're speaking here. I like what you're saying. Like, throwing it out there. Roman standing there taking it in the ring. You know what I mean? And it's getting juicy. It's getting good. And then what happens? Sami Zayn's music hits. And you have Sami Zayn come down to the ring to get involved. No, this is not against Sami Zayn. This is more against on how they work their segments. Again, because it's the same thing. It's repetitive. So you have somebody come down who's involved in the Elimination Chamber that could possibly be chosen as who Edge wants to face at Mania if he wins. But you have Sammy come down. He gets involved. He takes the shot. He's laid out by Jay. And then after that's done, you have Roman drop his mic, hand the belt to Paul, walk over, whisper something in Edge's ear. You get Roman's face whispering. You get Edge's facials selling what Roman's saying to him. Roman slowly backs away, puts his arm out. Paul puts the strap on him, and they turn around and leave. This segment would be over way more if you don't have Sami Zayn involved there.
Yeah.
There's no need to have Sami involved there. It does nothing except to do what? Set up something for later on in the show. Like, I hate that they do that.
If you didn't know that they were going in Edge versus Reigns, then I can see. But the card going all the way through the Mania. So
even with that being the case, even with you knowing the card, Sammy coming out, and again, it's not against Sammy. It could have been any one of the 6 people. It could have been anybody to come out during that segment. It just completely took the air out of the segment.
This is a factor not needed.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're putting something there that's not necessary. It's taking away from what people want to see. You have a person in Roman who's been on fire, as Ed said. You're in your prime. You're hitting on all cylinders. You're laying it out there, and then you have Edge start to lay into him and plant those seeds of doubt. And Edge, since he's come back, I don't know if it was all the years that he spent acting, but the way that he cuts a promo now, the way he changes his tone, gets louder, slower, his cadence, everything, his mannerisms, all of it. It just makes every single promo he does just like, damn, like I want to see Edge cut another one. Like he did it before he went into the Rumble, the promo where he's sitting in the corner of the ring. Like he's just been on fire since he's come back with his promo work. Not that Edge wasn't a bad promo before he left wrestling, but now it's just that much better. And the segment was so good. And then all of a sudden you have Sammy's music hit, and it just completely took me out of my disbelief that I was setting myself up for watching the segment for no reason. And then like you said, it's thrown in there so that they add something throughout the show that turns into the main event match, and you get everybody in the ring together, and then Edge and Orton, get spear, Roman stands tall, and it's over with. Like just don't do it. It's unnecessary. It turns me off from the segment that's really good and getting me really wanting to see Roman versus Edge.
It's just the lack of originality that they have when telling stories right now. It's a big problem. They can't come up with a lot of original content.
Well, you see that with the whole Bianca Sasha thing, and you're putting them together. You're putting them together as a tag team.
How many times have we seen that?
Yeah, I mean, it's Bayley and Sasha. It's Bayley and Sasha rehashed without the friendship and the history behind it. But I mean, that's essentially what they're doing. So one's going to turn on the other. You're setting Bianca up probably to be the babyface. And the way she's been with her promos the last couple of weeks, it goes back to what Bully Ray said after she won the Rumble. Once you cry in that ring, you're a true babyface. So you can't go back to that cockiest EST hair swinging, take my earrings out. You can't go back to that person because you brought that character down the moment that you cried on screen and broke the fourth wall, so to speak. So
just bad moves everywhere on their part.
Yeah, it was
just like we said with the prediction show. It just needs to be from Rumble to Mania. Just focus on that. There's just too many factors now.
Yeah,
ruining the story.
You have 2 pay-per-views between Rumble and Mania. So essentially, you're only, instead of having a almost 3-month build to Mania, you get a 4-week build, a month if that, after Fastlane.
Yep.
Fastlane's the 21st of March.
Yes.
And the Rumble or in WrestleMania is the 10th and 11th or 9th and 10th.
Correct.
Yep. April. So you get
3 weeks,
3-week build.
For your biggest show of the year.
For your biggest show of the year, you're getting 3 weeks. Makes no sense. And it goes back to what everybody has said. They can't do long-term storytelling. You may not like the long-term storytelling that AEW does, and it's not always long-term storytelling, but they do a way better job at doing long-term storytelling than what WWE does.
What was the longest story I think WWE's told was Sasha Bayley. And before that, I'm not even sure what the longest story probably was.
But they even rushed that.
They did, yeah.
Like, I'm not mad that I'm going to get Bianca and Sasha because I've been preaching to the choir on that since Bianca got drafted to SmackDown. So I've been on that train long before anybody else has, But I laid out the perfect storyline for Bayley and Sasha. To have it run all the way through to Mania to get the blow up. So, like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why they can't do it anymore. It's just
Bailey Sasha lasted a long time. Like they could have ended that like at last year's Mania if they wanted to. Like they could have had a decent like main event match with the two of them then, and then it just I agree. They rushed the payoff. You know, the story was there long term. It's just they didn't properly end it.
yeah. I guess some other main roster news that's not main roster-esque, so to speak. But did you see, besides them again cracking down on third party and social media sites, sending I guess memos out to talent again? They denied Kairi Sane. They won't let her work the Stardom 10th anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So what? I don't. What's the deal with her? She's still under contract with them and can only work certain things, even though she's
ambassador, I do believe.
But usually, like whenever they give those types of deals, they'll let them do other stuff because she's not going to sign a contract with Stardom, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but she's in Japan. She's not coming back anytime soon. You know.
Yeah.
I would say let her do it, like if it was me, but unless she's still under her original contract, maybe that's not up, and maybe that's why. But still, she's not coming back again. You know, it's just
if it's just a one-off, just let her do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw there was an article out there on WrestlingHeadlines.com, and I didn't know about this. And this may just be me missing it recently, but Devon Dudley talked about a recent stroke he suffered. Did you guys hear anything about him suffering a stroke?
No. I feel like Bubba would have talked about that.
I thought so too. I know Devon was in the news a couple weeks ago about I don't know, he was trying to run with the I guess the story or that he was never mind. I'm not even gonna bring it up because it may be it's 2021 and cancel culture, so we won't talk about it. Be safe rather than be sorry. So,
there you go.
I can bring it up to you off air. You guys can go look at it. But yeah, he said he spoke about a recent health scare on the Table Talk podcast this week. He mentioned that he had a stroke and went into further detail about his recovery and how it happened.
Wow.
So I heard nothing about this at the time. Like if this article hadn't come out with him talking about it, I wouldn't have known anything about it. And that's surprising given the fact that, you know, he still works with the company as an agent and is backstage, I do believe.
So good to see people can keep stuff private, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm glad that, you know, he's healthy and everything else, and I can see why, you know, maybe he wouldn't have wanted it out, and maybe that's why Bully Ray didn't talk about it or we heard anything else about it. But it was just it caught me off guard whenever I saw that. I'm like, oh wow, it's kind of crazy. So
hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, but that's all I have main roster wise from WWE this week. I don't know if you guys got anything else.
Before we get into NXT, I don't know if you guys had seen it. It looks like there's rumor that NXT is going to start doing its own developmental show. So the developmental brand is going to have a developmental brand. Looks like it's going to be their part. Yeah, it's going to be their partnership with Evolve, and it's rumored to be called NXT Evolve, but we'll see if that's how it goes. But it's interesting. But
it'll be a Peacock original,
probably.
More content for
That's
Peacock.
decent if it'll be like as long as it's not on TV.
So it'll be like how NXT started out, you know, where it was just
that'll be good,
yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you'll have like Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Ricochet, like all of them will go back and do that.
They do better on there.
Since they're not being featured on the main roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did you also see I guess was there anything else from main roster wise?
No.
But when you said developmental show, did you see that? So Eli Drake, who obviously made his debut on NXT TakeOver as LA Knight, when WWE filed the trademark initially, they filed it as LA Knight NIGHT and not KN. Right? So they had to refile for the trademark again. That just goes to show, like, how do you miss something like that? You know, like, I'm sure it happens more often than not, but I mean, come on, like that's something that's just like back in the day they wouldn't have made those mistakes.
Well, have you ever seen like whenever they do like these sheets with these guys, like, you know, back in the day they used to do like, okay, here's the gimmicks that we're thinking of you. Here's all the names we're thinking of. LA Knight, like NIGHT was probably on there too, and it's just someone just messed up, and so they were probably going back and forth. Do we go Knight as in dark or Knight as in a real Knight?
Triple H talked about Eli Drake coming in on his presser and that, and he thinks, you know, sky's the limit for him and he has a bunch of potential. I'm a big Eli Drake fan. I like him. I like what he did at Impact. I like what he did on NWA Power. Glad to see him getting another run with the E. Who knows if it'll turn into something. I'm hoping he's not going to be like another EC3 where they.
All I see is fans bashing it.
So, what'd you say, Jay?
So all I see is fans bashing it, saying they're going to waste them.
Yeah, I hope not. I really.
The track record shows that it probably will happen, but yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing for EC3 was him getting called up as soon as he did, and then he had that concussion, and then it was just like nothing after that at all. Yeah. So,
but Vince didn't see anything in him the first time, so it's just like that's what made me worried whenever he went back. Was okay, they didn't do anything with you the first time. Why are you going back?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I know, like, I mean, McIntyre, you know, was the same way. They didn't see nothing with him. Granted, he was the main roster first and got let go and then came back. So, like, you know,
I mean, they liked him. Vince saw something in him. You know, it just never materialized into anything the first run.
So, where do you hold NXT compared to like Impact and AEW?
As far as
the same level, or do you consider NXT a step up?
I would put AEW above NXT. I would have NXT slightly above Impact right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Impact is
growing.
Kenny Switch has turned around. They've doubled their Twitch streamers on a regular basis. Pretty much they're averaging around 7,000-8,000 on a weekly basis. And that's been without Omega the past couple weeks. You know, they had that huge number for him whenever he first came that Tuesday night. It was up around 56,000. And then was, you know, slowly dropped back down. But was still, you know, somewhere around 15,000 people while he was involved on the show. And now they're pulling 8 without him. So they definitely doubled up. You know, with their addition of New Japan talent coming in, that was in the works prior to the Forbidden Door being kicked down, reportedly. So we'll see what comes about with that. But yeah, I think the thing that's going to hurt NXT is the move to Peacock.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be strictly on Peacock. I don't see them staying on USA.
They haven't officially announced it yet, but yeah, we'll see if it happens or not.
I mean, like,
I think it would hurt them. Yeah.
I mean, the numbers this week, they were a little closer as far as AEW and NXT ratings, but AEW still had a higher rating than NXT, and NXT came out of a hot takeover ending angle, which we haven't seen in a while. Normally, those are good takeovers. Typically, set up good storylines at the end with some type of turn you don't see coming or anything. That goes all the way back to almost the beginning, like whenever Owens turned on Sammy after Sammy won the belt. Like, you know, the Gargano Ciampa whole angle was done at the end of the takeover. Like, they're really good with those things. When Cole debuted, with O'Reilly and Fish.
Yep,
that was an end of a takeover angle. So I don't know. It's just interesting. It's going to be interesting, this whole move to Peacock and what actually comes about it and how it plays out. But I like NXT. I like what they're doing. The past couple weeks have been good. This past week's episode was good when you're coming out off of, like I said, off of the Adam Cole heel turn. I love Pat McAfee getting on and
I knew you would.
Cutting the promo from the Jet and saying, "Hey, he's a scumbag. I told you he's a scumbag." And hashtag Pat was right. Let me know. You can apologize because I've said it from day one. So, yeah, I mean, excuse me. Good episode. I loved a lot of NXT this week.
Yeah.
A lot of storylines set up. We'll see. I didn't really get the whole Austin Theory in the way, and he got kidnapped at the pay-per-view, but yet Gargano was able to find him and bring him back. 3 days later.
Well, you're messing with Dexter Lumis, so.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love them walking out with the missing flyers and that, and then Johnny. I felt
like that could have went on for a little bit more.
Yeah, but I think the line of the night, Johnny walks over, hands it to Wade, and he hands it to Vic, and he goes to hand one to Beth, and Beth goes, "You don't have a milk carton?" Like, I thought that was, I popped with that. That was great. But yeah, I mean,
NXT felt fresh this week, coming off of no Dusty Classic matches.
Yeah, that could have been it too.
Yeah, it kind of brought in some new stories. Started feeling like, okay, we're moving on to something different now, and especially like we had talked about, the Dusty Classic fatigue, and it was nice to come off of that.
I did like the celebration that they did for the Dusty Cup and how they turned it into the promos between Raquel and Dakota and Shayna and Nia and I still call them the Rascals, but MSK, sitting there eating popcorn. That's their joy. Like, so you take them in the corner doing that stuff, and then multiply it by about 5 to 10, and that's like them in Impact.
Okay,
like that's classic them, and the stuff that they would do. So if you get a feel for how they were over in Impact as the Rascals. But I mean, to me, listen. Everybody's talking about Adam Cole and the turn and, where it goes from here and Balor and O'Reilly and all this. The only thing that we need to be talking about out of NXT is the greatest music video of all time. Cameron Grimes, the rich kid, To the Moon, Kiss My Grits, Big Money Cameron Grimes. How great is that?
When I first seen him, I hated the dude. But now, like, he had that cave in, and I started catching on that. Then once he started saying "To the Moon," I was sold.
It is tremendous. Like, that is so good. I tweeted out the week before. They actually took a current event and turned it into something that is good. Yeah. Which is, you haven't seen them do that in a really long time.
No.
But this version of him is great, and he can play along with it, so he can keep going. And then as soon as it crashes, he's gonna crash with it, and it's gonna be hysterical, and it's gonna be just as good as it is now.
Yeah, he needed a refresh too. Yeah. So that was the perfect timing for it. I'm not a huge Cameron Grimes fan, like, for his in-ring work, but I'm at least it's entertaining me, the segments that he's doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, so that was good. Again, like, hopping back to Nia and Shayna versus Dakota and Raquel, their story there. I'm mad that they hotshot it and put it on March 3rd.
Yeah.
But that was a counter move to AEW and them having Shaq versus Cody. Which is crazy to me. I don't know why you feel like you have to counter that programming. I'm with you, Chris. I agreed. I thought that they should have saved that match for Mania.
Yeah.
That way you have the women's tag team titles being challenged for at Mania. there's a lot. There's a really easy story to tell, and they touched on it this week. Dakota and Shayna, that story goes back to Shayna's run and her being the bully, and they touched on it this week. I think Raquel was the star of the segment, and she came across, like she belonged, and she to me she definitely stood out in that segment.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if this match. We'll wait and see, but I don't know if this match is going to be anything special. I know I know it's going to try to give her the rub a little bit, to elevate her more. But I don't know if Shayna and Nia are the right people for that. Other than maybe seeing what she would do with Nia, just because of they're each big girls, their own way. But yeah, I don't think they're going to win, but hopefully it turns out to be a decent match.
And this just popped into my head, not to hop back to main roster stuff, but what the hell are they doing with Rhea Ripley?
Nothing.
Why?
Nothing at all.
She has the big performance in the Rumble and hasn't been since. You don't know if she's on Raw. You don't know if she's on SmackDown. Like,
she'll show back up in NXT or NXT UK.
She wants to mention something.
I just talking about Raquel and that and Raquel's line in there. Oh, you mean the Rhea Ripley that I beat in the last woman standing match? Like that Rhea Ripley? It just popped back into my head. Just made me think like she hasn't been seen since the Rumble.
How am I not thinking of Rhea Ripley? I'm sitting here thinking like, where's Damian Priest the whole time? And I hate the man.
Stop it.
But yeah, no, NXT was good this week. Again, they're loading up for the March 3rd show to counteract what AEW is going to do that night. And that's the go home show before Revolution. So, but yeah,
did you guys see after NXT went off about Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah.
So that was a big topic of discussion on Busted Open this week between Bully and Dave LaGreca. So it was like it came out right afterwards that he had suffered a seizure and they were tending to him and took him out on a stretcher and everything else. And then Kyle had to get on and say, I'm fine. It was part of the story. And it's like Bully said, like, don't tell me I'm being worked.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
Yeah, just leave it.
Stop it. Just leave it. Like, he said, he's like, everybody wants to be in the know and everybody wants to come out and say this, that, and the other. And it's like, he's like, I don't need to know. Just let it be.
I don't think that type of injury you want to do a story about. But it wasn't not anything confirmed. It was automatically people automatically jumped to him having a seizure because he is a type 1 diabetic. And I guess the way that they saw towards the end of the show, you could see him on the ground and that. But like LaGreca said, to me, seeing it, he was getting a brain buster on the freaking steps.
Yeah.
Knocked out. Like, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it was to be something that serious, like, okay, let it come out, afterwards. I don't need it to be right after the show where everybody's running with that and you got dirt sheets and supposed smart marks coming out and saying all this stuff. Like, no, just let it be. Like,
the only thing that kind of threw me was because I thought at first too was that he was just selling, that they brought the stretcher just to sell what just happened, and that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started seeing some pictures of like Triple H coming out, and that kind of got me like, okay, usually they don't, like Vince doesn't come out for that kind of stuff, unless something real happened. So that's what made me question whether that was actually something serious or not. But
still, they're still trying to sell it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was just a good sell.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like whenever Shawn Michaels had his problems and he fell out, remember, from his concussion, and Vince came out. Like, I mean, we were kids then, but that was a good sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited for O'Reilly and Cole and Balor and seeing where that goes?
I was talking to Dawn earlier about yesterday about like NXT style of story. Like AEW, you have who's fighting, but you get other people just throwing title shots in between for no reason. WWE, you have the story booked for 3 months and they're wrestling every week. NXT, you don't know who's in line for the title, and I kind of like that.
Well, and Balor came out this week on Corey Graves' podcast, and he said, I was only supposed to be in NXT for a couple months, and it's turned into, a year plus. So he's like, he wasn't supposed to be there as long as he was. I don't know if we necessarily. If you haven't watched Ring of Honor and you don't know the history between Cole and O'Reilly, then this is good for you, because that is a money match, a money feud, a money story. Am I excited for it because I get to see it done a little bit differently and under the NXT umbrella? I am. I just don't know. If Kyle can go on the mic with Cole.
No.
Like he lost me when he stepped in the ring on a Wednesday.
Yeah, him and Roddy, boy, that was tough.
Until he got angry.
Yeah, that was tough.
It's like, I kind of got on Finn last week about like his mic skills, but O'Reilly could go with him, because they were both going to leave it in the ring. Cole's going to destroy him on the mic.
Yeah, I like Cole's tweet afterwards. Did you see Cole's tweet?
Mm-mm.
He had screenshots of him, doing the brainbuster, taking out Finn, holding the belt, and he said, I don't owe an explanation to nobody. I let my actions speak for myself. And it was those pictures. So I'm like, okay.
I like,
okay. Yeah. I can feel you there. I can feel you there. So
and wasn't that what everybody was waiting for him to break away from Undisputed Era and do his own thing? So it's again, long-term storytelling.
I mean, they've been on multiple podcasts together, the four of them, and they have all said that they wouldn't mind them not breaking up and staying together. But I mean, if you're looking for fresh feuds in that, I mean, I guess at some point in time,
the Undisputed Era as baby faces just wasn't working. I don't think it was okay. It just wasn't as good as when they're heels. And Adam Cole as a heel is where he needs to be.
Yeah,
this is going to be in his wheelhouse.
Yeah,
and
him as a face is always he's a heel.
Dawn, you brought up long-term storytelling, and I made a point of this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. From NXT standpoint, they have made it a point, and Triple H has said it multiple times, that they have long-term storytelling set in place, and they're going to do it, and they're not going to deviate unless something absolutely happens that makes them deviate. Yeah. So I think over the course of this year, as stuff unfolds, I think you'll see more of the long-term storytelling that we hope we get from the main roster. I think you'll see that on NXT, and that'll help elevate them.
Yes, it keeps you invested.
As long as the people are there and are doing it, and the story's interesting, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
I love what Swerve did this week, Chris. I know you tweeted that out when you were watching the show.
Yeah.
He's a main eventer. Swerve is a main eventer. There's no reason why he should not be in a main event. I hope this springboards him and jumps him up. We still have the unknowns with Imperium. Walter supposedly coming over. I thought you were going to get him and Balor, but if you're going to get Balor and Cole now, there's that. And you have Karrion Kross still sitting there. Maybe his run might be a little bit shorter and he might get called up.
Yeah. Just like Jason was saying, it was you don't know who's going to win the title. You're keeping all these multiple people within that realm. It's
the NA title is getting packed too.
Yeah, but that's how it should be. You should have your champion, and then you should have 4 to 6 people that you can plug in at any point in time, based on keeping them elevated and them believable. And you do that with each title. It's not hard to do, and you're seeing that with NXT. I will agree with you there. They are setting that up with each title. Like North American, you have Kushida, you have Bronson Reed stepping up. I like the direction for him. Maybe Swerve. This is a catapult to get him started.
Absolutely. He's been in that the 205 cruiserweight for a while and just has gone nowhere. So to me, this past week, if they continue this elevation with his character, he needs to be put right into North American.
No doubt. So NXT will be good. I'm excited to see where they go. Anything from anybody else on NXT?
Did we love the photo shoot?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Somebody was like, "Why is the cameraman still shooting?"
I don't want to say
evidence.
I don't want to say it was like in the background, but because it was done on a photo shoot and they just had stills, like they didn't have any video from it, I felt like it almost got lost by the end of the show with everything else that happened, which sucks because I think that them two together, like I said, that's a story in and of itself. Tony comes out, I didn't get pinned, you didn't beat me, you pinned Mercedes, I beat you to win the Mae Young Women's Classic, like I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you. Like it's there, it's written. Like I just feel like the way that they did it this week, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. And I also liked the Xia Li and the 2Ks. For being a lower card storyline, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm
sold on Casey and Caden. I'm sold on them too. They could.
I told you they were supposed to be getting a heel run, and I didn't see them as heels, but I could see it a little bit with how they're talking in their promos and everything. Like I can see it coming for them. So we'll see if it turns into anything else. But
I'm the opposite. That storyline's doing absolutely nothing for me. Like for everybody, like nothing's hitting for me at all with it. Like I like when the lady comes down.
You don't like anything that they've done with Xia and Boa and the whole. Like, I
like some of the original like
the vignette.
I like those, but since like they've come out and like the matches, the lady sitting on the ramp, like nothing, like absolutely nothing hits for me. Just like I want to see where this goes. Like
that's where wrestling is like Baskin Robbins. There's 31 flavors, and not everything's going to be to your liking.
I just want to see if she's somebody.
She's somebody. Supposedly that's Karen Q, but she's whatever they're calling her now. I forget what the name is.
Mailing or something.
Yeah, something like that. But that supposedly that's who that is. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff from NXT this week. So let's jump over to the other Wednesday night war, the other half of the ratings war, brother.
Man.
AEW this week, Dynamite, the power bomb heard around the world.
They finally did something.
They did it.
Congratulations.
They did it. And like Bully Ray said, Brian Cage has never been more over in his entire life. Not a knock on Cage, but that one interaction, one move automatically was like, okay, yeah, somebody now.
That was such a cringeworthy powerbomb.
Cringeworthy is the right word.
It was.
I tweeted out like,
and he hit it fine. It's not even that it was a botch.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
He didn't. It wasn't too hard. It wasn't too soft. Like he did it perfectly. But yeah, I guess the replay after the commercial break even made me cringe up even more because of the way the camera shot was on the replay. Listen, if Sting did not get, they wouldn't let Sting do it if he didn't have a clean bill of health to be able to do it. So, I mean, Edge has come back and is taking bumps. Brian's come back. Christian came back at the Rumble. Like, granted, not all the injuries are the same, but at the same time, AEW is not going to let Sting go out and take a powerbomb from Brian Cage if Sting isn't medically cleared to be able to take a bump. How many bumps Sting takes is going to be the question, and that's where I think they need to be smart with it. Was this a good time to do and have him take a bump? Absolutely, because people were starting to turn on it Oh, the snow. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's Sting. Hey, standing in the ring, going in the back, standing in the ring, going to the back. Like, you needed to have some action, and it happened, and I enjoyed it. But I do want to bring up, why does Taz look like he's transforming into Mick Foley? He came out with the oversized jacket, and it looked like the sweatpants.
The sweat.
I'm like, is he turning into Mick Foley? Like, what's Taz? This is FTW. This is, you know, beat me if you can't survive if I let you. Why are you transforming into Mick Foley? Have a nice day.
Maybe you had a wardrobe malfunction or something. Maybe that's all you had.
Yeah, I was watching that promo, like that segment with my dad, and he knows about the Sting injury and that stuff. And he was like, was he supposed to take that? And I was like, it's happening.
Yeah. I mean, anytime I see Sting take a bump, I'm always going to my mind's going to revert right back to that match with Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Just seeing him collapse. And
I think that, yeah, that's the case. And I was like that with Edge when he came back and was taking the bumps that he was taking in the Rumble. And then the more you saw him around and the more you saw him in the ring, like, that slowly went away to now that's not in the forefront of my mind whenever I see Edge wrestle.
It was the same thing when Daniel Bryan came back too. It's like, I remember seeing like how protected they were, like whenever they would like throw him to the ground and like they would almost like cradle his head a little bit, like as they would like punch him, and it's just like
I still feel like that was Steph.
Yeah.
So the leg injury. It's
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that you know that will start to dissipate and not be in the very front every time I do see Sting. But yeah, so there's that. What else from Dynamite caught your eye? What you guys like? What you didn't like?
What I didn't like was Cody grandstanding with the baby reveal.
Really? You're gonna shit on a gender reveal? Really?
Yes. Come on now. That is Cody, Hulk Hogan, Rhodes right there. That's grandstanding at its best. Come on. We don't need that.
Listen,
if it was your company, you wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it.
They made
something private between the families and that.
They made the announcement that they were pregnant on Dynamite. You didn't think they were going to do the gender reveal on Dynamite?
We don't need
that. Cody Rollins.
She might even have the baby on Dynamite. We all know.
It's happening.
I'm not gonna.
I was okay with it. It didn't drag on. They did it real quick.
Yeah, they came out. They did it during. You know, they played it into his music and how it went, and then that was it. He walked over, got on commentary. At first I'm like, why is he getting on commentary? And then they did the announcement for the face of the Revolution ladder match with him, Penta, and Scorpio Sky being the first 3 participants announced.
There'll be 6 man, yeah.
I think that's going to be a really good match at Revolution.
It has potential. Just those 3 would be good.
What is it for?
It's for
the TNT title shot.
Yeah, for the number 1 contender for the TNT title.
Oh, Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Basically. Well, they're not grabbing a briefcase.
We'll probably grab the chip again, like they did the one time.
Oh, that fucking chip!
No, but I mean, I think it has really good potential, like you said, Chris. Just with those 3 announced, I'll be interested.
I need to see more Scorpio Sky.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's been missing. Yeah.
I'm curious to see who the other 3 participants will be in it. So,
you said Ray, right?
Penta. Cody.
Oh, Penta. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ray showed into the match too, but
okay.
They should throw Ricky Starks in there.
Well, he has the street fight at Revolution.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, that's right.
So so I'm not mad with that. The Young Bucks and Santana Ortiz. I love the attitude from Santana Ortiz. That's the LAX version of Santana. That's what I need. That's what I need from them. They're like Swerve on NXT. They need to be in the title picture. They're not good They're that good. I know you can't have everybody in the title picture at once, but like they said, to be in the company from the, as long as they have been, and this is their, first title shot. I hated the finish. And yeah, I just didn't like the finish. The match itself was fine. I didn't like the finish. Interesting, Jericho going after Papa Buck after the match and pushing him because I guess he stole Jericho's shirt out of the back. I tell you what, I hated the Shaq and Jade vignette that they played.
Again,
yeah,
not looking forward to it. The only thing I'm looking forward to, again, that I've said before, is just the women.
I want to see Jade go just to see.
Yeah, if she can go,
I'd like to see Red Velvet go a little bit more too, just because this is going to be both of their time to shine.
She reminds me of little Sasha Banks.
Red Velvet.
Yeah, she does. She does.
If you haven't watched her on Dark and her matches on Dark, she has a lot of potential.
Yeah. But this is the time that the spotlight's on them both, and to showcase that.
Yeah. I think the Luchasaurus lights out, lights on, that fell flat for me.
It did.
It did. Yeah.
Apparently it fell flat with the live crowd too. There's that. Do you guys like the addition of Tully Blanchard stepping into a ring?
No. All that's going to be is him and Marco. I don't think you're going to see anybody else get time with them, but maybe FTR might get Marco, but I think that's the reason why is Tully and Marco will go.
I'm surprised the Seidel brothers got as much shine as they did against FTR. They had a ton of offense in that match. In
one match that established them, and maybe that was their plan.
It might have been, yeah.
Start using them more, yeah.
I know both of them need to stop going up to that freaking corner of that top rope, because that was the same top rope corner that Matt slipped on when he did the shooting star press, and his brother slipped off of it trying to do the freaking cross body dive.
Hopefully, once they go back into arenas, we won't see the slips like that as much anymore.
Yeah.
If it keeps snowing.
Hangman and Matt Hardy, I thought that was done really well. I love the stipulation for the match, a big money match, given the character. Jay,
can Matt just go? And the mascot.
I was happy to see Dark Order come back out for Hangman this week. So, this storyline isn't over because they had no interaction on Dynamite the past few weeks. So,
right,
I'm glad it's not over, and I think Hangman would be a good addition at this point. I've liked his interaction with the Dark Order.
Yeah,
they've done more with him and Dark Order than they've done with Colt Cabana. With that storyline.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that.
What you guys think of the exploding barbed wire death match?
I like the announcement of the match. I like the fact that Kenny was the one that announced the match, because it's not Kenny's forte. That's something Moxley would do. It's not something Omega would do. So I'm glad to see Kenny taking it down a different avenue for what he normally would do. This match, if done properly, can be really good. And it all depends on how they build to the match. If the build is strong, the match is good. It can come off. It can be just as good as any of the other exploding barbed wire death matches that were big back in the 80s, early 90s, and in Japan. And that so yeah, it can be done. I'm hoping that it's done well. But we'll see. I don't, a lot of people shitted on it and didn't like it at all.
The night Kimona Wanalea danced atop ECW Arena was the last time I enjoyed Extreme. I can't do Extreme anything anymore. Barbed wire, light bulbs, none of that shit. I can't do it.
Again,
I like the little taste from time to time. I don't need it all the time.
Yeah, I don't need
that CZW we watched.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was way too much.
Yeah, that pushed everything back. I was like, you know what? I'm over extreme.
Yeah, and like Steve, what you said, this isn't Kenny's forte. This is more Moxley's forte. So it'll be interesting to see, how this match goes. But we've seen Kenny in these types of extreme matches a lot lately, the past few years. So, it's kind of becoming part of his wheelhouse, even if it's not the standard. He's more known for his in-ring work than the extreme.
I think it will be different than what their lights out unsanctioned match was, where you saw the bed of barbed wire and that. I think they'll go in a different direction. Again, this match can be done well, and it can be pulled off in today's era of wrestling. It's just all going to depend on the story and the build up to the match, because that's what's going to make the match be good or not.
For me, I need this to be it with him and Moxley. I need after Revolution for Kenny to move on, and we see,
somebody
him be the collector or something.
I think, and that's why, I think you're getting the match that you're getting, because that will be the finality of it.
Yeah.
And let it go, and both can move on to different things.
It's going to be all over again.
So yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed Dynamite this week. We'll see what happens next week before the go home show for Revolution, and see what plays out from there. I'll be interested to see how many matches are on the card. Are you guys disappointed that Britt Baker is not going to be shown on Dynamite in the first round of the women's tournament?
I don't know if it's necessarily disappointed, but it was a little bit of a surprise, I thought.
I thought it was good, because that will draw people to watch the YouTube show.
It's true.
Watch the semifinals and the first round match. Like, I thought that was done well. Like, I thought Rio and Serena Deeb was match of the night.
They gave them a lot of time too.
Yeah, a lot of time. That was really
no
good.
Surprise. Rio won. I mean, I think that was expected.
Yeah, I think her and Thunder Rosa will be really good. I hope Thunder Rosa wins, but I think that the two will be really good. So no real big surprises on the Japanese side of the bracket. So yeah, I'll be interested to see who they have come out from that side of the bracket. But yeah, all in all, I mean, it was a good show. So I'll go with that. Other news in wrestling this week. Impact, another solid show Tuesday night, done really well. They're hitting their stride with stuff. Like I said earlier, Juice Robinson, David Finlay debuted. They had a good interaction with the Good Brothers. Enjoyed the after the match promo there. You're going to get Moose and Rich Swann at some point. But yeah, just a solid show up and down from Impact. They've done really well. The TJP and Josh Alexander match to open the show was really good. So if you haven't watched that, I don't know if you can catch a replay of Impact or not, but that match was a really solid match to open the show. I wouldn't mind seeing them two get in the ring again. Anything else? Filthy's Island from MLW.
Did you watch it?
I gotta go back and rewatch it.
Oh God! What was your initial interpretation of it?
And my initial thing is, I hope that it's just a one-off and they don't do it again. I agree with everybody else, but we'll see. I don't know. I think this was a swing that MLW took, and to me, it was a swing and a miss. Something different from them, and I'm all for that. You're not everything's going to be a home run, but this wasn't even like a walk to first base on base on balls. Like this was definitely a swing and a miss. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it again, but I don't think that'll change my mind on it.
I just need more Selena. Just every time she's on, especially when she's the executive producer of the show, it's always worthy.
And since you brought up Selena, to play into what her part of her storyline, I get thoughts and prayers to Conan. Apparently he's in the hospital dealing with kidney issue. I know he had a kidney transplant a couple years ago, and I guess he was in the hospital for a couple of days there. I saw a lot of people tweeting out prayers to him this week. So big ups to K-Dog. Hopefully he pulls through. Conan was probably my one or two favorite in WCW growing up. I love Conan growing up. So I know I used to slap that Tequila Sunrise on in the backyard wrestling. That was the finisher.
Used to come out to his theme song too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing I didn't do was wear the baggy pants and do the olale. I didn't venture fully into that, but Conan was definitely one of my favorites. So prayers to him. But Ring of Honor, solid show. If you guys are sleeping on Ring of Honor, you need to wake up because they're putting out really good work right now. So I would suggest you watch it. It's an hour show, goes by quick. It's done really well. I know there's a lot of wrestling to watch during the week, but that's one not to be slept on. They've done really well since they've come back from COVID with that. So anybody got anything else from this week? Bell to bell?
Yeah. New Japan, they continue on Roku. Last week they had released 10 episodes on one day. This week they just released one episode. So last week it was Wrestle Kingdom 14. This week it was one episode of New Year Dash the day after. So we'll see how that continues in the coming weeks, like what they add. And I was kind of hoping for maybe newer content. So we're kind of a year off right now, but that's the way it started on Access too. And, as viewership grew, they started increasing content and getting closer and closer. So hopefully that continues.
They were in talks with Access to put it back on Access, but they felt that Roku was the better option for them and a better way to go. We'll see if it plays out that way.
No.
But yeah, all right. We'll get the elephant in the room out there. JR calling Kenny Omega the WWE champion.
I guess for me, it didn't bother me.
I didn't, and to be honest with you, I really didn't even catch it really, because it was like coming out of something, coming out of the segment that Kenny did, being a big D-bag and reading to the kids. He completely shit on the Young Bucks that whole segment. I realized that, but
are they in love?
Yeah, completely shit on them. But coming out, I didn't even really catch it, and then like my timeline just blew up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
I think it was subtle enough that if you weren't paying attention, you weren't going to catch it. Like I knew going in, I had seen it, so I was expecting it.
Mm-hmm. And then you had people jumping to the other side of the bridge and go, well, Tony Khan came out and said that he's open for working with WWE. So JR was planting the seeds for whenever they do work together. And it's just like, really, like that's where you're automatically going to go there, like, yeah. So
no,
it didn't hurt.
No. One more thing. I don't know if you guys saw, I had brought him up a couple weeks ago, is that Parker Boudreaux.
Yes. The Destroyer of Gods. I love it.
Yeah, he tweeted out this week a couple things. One was, I've played my last snap, on to bigger things. You can connect the dots. And then he also tweeted, I'm not the next Lesnar. I'm the first Parker Boudreaux. So if you haven't seen like some of his like promotional images that he put out there, they look pretty cool.
If you're calling yourself the Destroyer of Gods, I think I can sign up for that right now.
So, definitely interested to seeing what his next move is. So
hey, listen, Heyman came out and fully endorsed him. So I trust Paul's judgment.
JR did too, and then I've heard that he went to NXT, and then I heard he's also been to AEW. So we'll see if he's won anywhere else or where things may go.
Solid, works for me.
Yeah.
All right, that's this week in Bell to Bell.
Chug, 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 chug.
This week's Drink of the Week segment is brought to you by alcohol, the cause of and the solution to all of life's problems.
It works.
It works. It's
just the tagline.
It is the tagline, I've had some good ones that I've come up with, the walk of shame and the slapping a slapping the 20 on the bar as dollar drink night ends. But
this ain't the twist off.
No,
come on.
Ricky Dink, give me in here, bro.
I
twist off.
gotta bring out the tools now. I don't have a beer.
Can I toss this through the camera for you?
I got one. I got one too. There we go.
Stand by for
Can we bring up the one division? Please stand by.
While Jay's trying, you don't have a bottle opener in the house at all?
I don't drink.
All right, well, Jay's working that out. We are doing Saranac S'mores today. If you are familiar with our Drink of the Week segments, we did Saranac Pumpkin.
Don't do that.
We did Saranac Pumpkin Backdoor and the Pumpkin Run of beers. This was recommended to me by my cousin. I saw it, grabbed it up. It is 6.2% alcohol by volume, and I really think you guys are gonna like this.
It smells good.
It's a chubby kid's dream come true in a bottle. It's s'mores and beer together, and it makes a delicious combination. Jay!
Hey, imagine if your bartender had to do that.
We'll start calling you MacGyver. That was good job. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was.
That's a whole other segment of Bar Hacks with Jason.
Now listen, if you went through all that work and you don't like this beer, we will edit it out, okay? I can post and edit it out because that'll be a lot of work for something that you don't like. But
we're live, man. There's no editing live.
Listen, we can go back and do like WWE Raw on Hulu. We can take some stuff out. Okay? We go back in and take some stuff out. So, but no, I think
my whole square.
I think you guys will really enjoy this. Like I said, this was highly recommended. It is an ale with artificial and natural flavors. The smell, it's so good. It's such a s'more. Like you just get all of it. The graham cracker,
the chocolate.
You get it all as soon as you smell it. So, cheers, guys. Take a swig. Let me know what you think.
Ooh. This is hitting the spot.
Your thumbs up says one thing, but your face says something else.
Yeah, you had a bitter beer face there, Jay. That was like
I love it.
Yo, I didn't think your voice could reach that high. Say it again. We need that dub. Can we get that on a loop? Anytime something good happens on the show, I want to be able to press a button and just hear Jay say, I love it.
So is that an upcoming shirt too?
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Man, I can get down on this. Ooh.
So, those of you that live in the Pittsburgh area, I found this 6-pack at Giant Eagle. You could go to one of your bigger, beer distributors and get it in a case or a 6-pack. It was only like $11 for the 6-pack, so it's not that expensive from a beer standpoint, but. I'll leave it. I'll open the floor to you guys, and I'll save my take for last. So,
all right, Jason, go ahead.
It's better than last week's. I'm gonna give it a 2.
You did all
the smell.
You did all that.
I like the smell.
All of that, and you only got a 2.
2, because I don't know. It's these dark beers. Let's get a wheat beer in here sometime. Marshmallow wheat.
Oh God!
It does smell good though. I
need Blue Moon marshmallow. That's
Donald. What do you got?
I'm not a big dark beer drinker, but this shit hits the spot. I mean, this is some good stuff. I get down like probably 20 of these, and I'm not a hardcore drinker anymore. I give this a 4.5 out of 5. Sumo.
Is it cold?
Mine's is cold. Yeah, mine's is on the windowsill.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that might be a difference.
Chris?
I don't know. The headband got Donald, trying to be doing the hardcore drinking over there. Buddy, God. I don't think I've ever seen you. Well, I can't say I've never seen you drink a lot of beer. The lube tube you used to get down on. So
yeah, man, that's for the patrons,
He's gonna come into sports with a brown paper bag on that bottle.
I really love the smell. For me, the smell and the taste don't match up. The smell smells very sweet. I was expecting a sweet aftertaste with the beer, and I don't think it gets that.
It's a porter.
It is a porter, yeah. So I was expecting different style of taste, but it's a good beer. I don't know if just expected. It's missing something for me, and I can't figure out what it's missing.
I thought this would have been a home run for you.
Mm.
I did.
I think I'm gonna go 3.5.
Well, I'm with Donald here. This is deliciousness packed into a bottle. If there ever was a definition of it, I'm gonna go with a 4.25. I think I like this a little bit more than the pumpkin Saranac that we did, even though that was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
So Saranac is one of those brewing companies that we've come to learn about since we started doing this Drink of the Week segment, and I'm all for what they got to give out. So I will try their other stuff as I see it or come across it for sure. So
don't chuck that thing over there.
4.25. He's mad he only bought a single in that next pack. He's gonna go back and get more. Go back and get more for sure.
This week in sports is going to be interesting.
So we got a 4.5 from Donald, 4.25 from me, a 2 from I love it, and a 3.5 from Chris.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Well, that's Saranac S'more Porter. Go out there, try it, grab it, tweet at us, Facebook us, let us know what you think. This week's Drink of the Week. And as always, we ask that you raise your cans, bottles, glasses, shots, brown paper bags, Dixie cups, red Solo cups, whatever you're drinking out of with us, and to good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. Salute.
Cheers.
All right, this week in sports, folks. Coming out of the post Super Bowl high. There was some newsworthy stuff in sports here. NFL saw the big trade of Carson Wentz going from the Eagles to the Colts. Another quarterback on the move. I think the Colts got a steal of the deal here. They only gave up, I think it was two 2s and 2 3s.
I think one of them was conditional.
Yeah, or one of them was a conditional, and that could turn into a 1.
If he plays 70%, that 2 becomes a 1. But that's next year. So this year's draft, they still have their first and second round pick.
Yeah.
So
they gave up a 3 for this year.
And the Eagles take an unprecedented $33.4 million salary cap hit. So yeah. I would say the Colts won out. If Wentz can be anything like he was, 2017, when he was under Frank Wright, I think they could have their quarterback here. They tried the stopgap year with Phillip Rivers. They're a team that's built to win now, so hopefully they can come out and we'll see. Just another added wrinkle to what's looking like a loaded AFC from that standpoint. So I did see that.
Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, so He's right at home with his offensive coordinator as the head coach.
Yeah, the NFLPA tweeted out the club cap space carryover 2020 into 2021. Average per team, if you were to add up all the money and divide it by 32 teams, is 9.8 million is what average each team would have. But some of the big things that I saw, the Ravens, they only carry over 587K in cap space. So they're going to have an interesting offseason there.
Now, they said they just raised it, right?
They're actually going to lower it.
They're going to lower it.
Yeah, they're lowering it because of COVID.
Yeah, they didn't say what it's going to be. Projections were around 175 or 180 is what I saw projection-wise.
Yeah, 180.
So, yeah, the Ravens have 587K, Steelers at 5 million, Jets at 26, almost 27 million. Seahawks are tight, they're 956K. Cowboys have 24 or 25, almost 25.5 million. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of people on the market free agent wise based off of these moves and what teams are going to have to do, because contracts that are guaranteed, those are not changing. That number is going to count regardless of what the cap is. So it will be interesting to see who's all out there. As we work through it here. I really didn't have too much NFL wise besides the Wentz stuff. I know Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh wise, the big news: Roethlisberger and the Steelers did not meet. Colbert came out, didn't really give a ringing endorsement for Ben being back, and I'm okay with that. Roethlisberger kind of said that he wants to come back, but the organization's going to say, hey, we got to take a look at this. Definitely not coming back for the cap hit that you're at, so we're going to have to restructure. And with Mason being on his rookie deal, if you want to see if he really is the quarterback, he's going to have to play all 16 games this year. So I'm okay with them moving on from Roethlisberger, like I said before, but be interesting to keep an eye on it as it moves forward.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay this year for the Steelers to do what they need to do. So like a rebuild year, I'm completely fine with it because the offense is a shambles.
Yeah, there was that. I thought this was pretty funny, and this is just a random sports fact. So if you're at a bar and you're playing sports trivia, this one might win you a free shot. But nobody in human history has ever sent a text message about the Bengals winning a playoff game. The last Bengals playoff win was 1991. First text message sent was 1992. So for sports trivia fanatics out there, that one
that's a good one.
That one will win you a drink at a bar. I started laughing whenever I saw that. I thought that was pretty funny. There was that.
Their fans talking the most shit
for no reason.
Big ups, baseball world. Big ups to Fernando Tatis Jr. signed a 14-year, $340 million contract with the San Diego Padres.
Grab the bag.
Did grab the bag, right?
And it still isn't as long as Bobby Bonilla's.
Correct. Bonilla has 15 years left on his deal. And he is 50. He's currently 57 years old and has 15 years left on his
greatest contract ever in baseball.
72 that runs out.
That's the best retirement plan ever.
Yeah.
Greatest contract of all time. Like,
wasn't Iverson supposed to have a deal like that but didn't take it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. Like that big number, and then Bonilla slips in and goes,
I heard people's mad at the contracts because the way Tatis is, he like outspoken and all that. They wanted him to be like Trout, all calm and everything. Yeah, all quiet and calm. I was like, like Trout could be what he is, but I need somebody to talk in baseball because
if Trout walked past me, I wouldn't know who he was.
No.
Yeah. There's that. I did see UFC. A little. I know coming off of the Usman Burns fight. Did you see what Usman said about Masvidal?
No.
So Jorge Masvidal, obviously from the 305 from Miami, right? Kamaru Usman said, "You don't run anything in Miami if you're getting beat up like that. No city wants a loser. Miami is mine. I run Miami. So yes, he gets to leave his house to come fight in my arena in Miami." I know the last time they fought, Masvidal didn't have a full fight camp. Took that fight on a couple weeks' notice, 2 weeks' notice, I believe, and lost. And he's been wanting a rematch and wanting to get a full fight camp in. If they do sign this fight, which I think if Dana White is smart, he will sign this fight. I am sold on this and going to be glued to the television because the shit talking and the smack talking will be great in the build up to that fight if they re-sign it. Other than that, there wasn't too much in sports. Like I said,
No.
I'm looking forward to UFC 259 in 2 weeks. 3 title fights. That could be a stack card.
Yeah, like I said, they got a ton of stuff coming out. UFC does over the next month with the big ones. The end of March with Stipe, that'll be the big one. But yeah, they're loaded across the
259 is going to be headline versus the light heavyweight champ versus the middleweight champ. Amanda Nunes is fighting, so I'm definitely going to try to go out of my way to watch that one.
Yeah, those are normally the good ones when there's a lot of titles on the line. And remember, Chris, a couple years ago, you was talking about they should have like a Night of Champions type pay-per-view, like all the titles on the line, like sometime in the summer. Like that would be a good idea.
They could even do like 2 back-to-back. I mean, basically do like a men's and then a women's. Because they only do like 5 fights.
Hey, Chris, drop me out for a sec, Chris.
What'd you say?
I said forego the rankings.
I think that 259 is going to be a decent one. And like Steve said, there's a lot of good UFC fights coming up over time.
Yeah, but it seems like the titles are getting more on the line now. Before it was just like who's fighting for number 1 contendership or number 2. Now it's like the champions are starting to come back into circulation.
Yeah, Nunes, she's still holding both belts, so she's still a beast.
Well, she hasn't fought for a while, right?
It's been a while because she was injured and sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah. She I will do our predictions, maybe that day for that card, but I'd be surprised if she lost. She's so talented. I wasn't crazy about her at first when she won the title, her first title, but I've definitely become a big fan of hers over time.
And the way she's a beast, man, she could put both titles on the line.
She really could.
Yeah, she could. I can see her fighting twice a night.
So she has 2 different weight classes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Bantam is the one. That's the one that Rousey held.
Is it featherweight, the other?
Other might be the other. Yeah. Okay. But she defends both. She's just not like holding one, just the whole one. No,
Bantam and featherweight are her 2 divisions.
They need that open weight.
It's called catch weight.
Catch weight?
Yeah, it's called catch. Yeah.
Or they have
where they agree on a weight limit.
Yeah, but they never do title fights for those.
Yeah, no, it's always just like if it's like somebody from like light heavyweight or heavyweight to fight, it's always like a catch weight, like around there.
We were just talking about Amanda Nunes and her titles and her upcoming fight at 259. Other than that, it's a big weekend for hockey. I don't know if you guys have been following it all. Tonight for Pittsburgh, the Penguins tweeted out, in the summer of 2005, Sidney Crosby arrived in Pittsburgh. Now, over 15 years later, he is set to become the first player in Penguins history to appear in 1,000 games.
Wow.
So tonight's his 1,000th game. So that's big for him.
Ooh. That's
because he's played everything with one team, which isn't always heard of.
Yeah, that's rare now these days.
Yeah.
15 years. How many more years do you think he plays?
I think I saw his contract's up in 2025. but he said that he doesn't have any plans on retiring anytime soon. So as long as he can keep going, he's going to keep doing it. But
he's been around that long.
Yeah, I know.
And if remember, whenever he had his concussion or his nerve problem, he was gone for a while. So
almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. So he still got some legs left in him.
You think Gino's done? I think
if it was me, I think it's time to move on from Gino.
I mean, he's what, 33, 34. So not everybody's going to be Tom Brady and play. You know what I mean? Like if he's done and this is it, then he's done. I mean, it is what it is. Like,
I don't know if he's done, but I think it's time for him to try to move on to another team or something. See,
with those two, I see Yager and Lemieux all over again. You know, time to move Yager when they did. I like Gino, but it seemed like it's about time. Try to get something back.
To piggyback on UFC, and I didn't know whether to bring this up in Bell to Bell or in sports, so I'm going to bring it up here. But Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 5 is on Fight TV tonight at 9:00.
So what is that?
It's
I'm not even sure. Like, is it like wrestling? Is it fighting?
It's both.
Hybrid.
It's a hybrid, yeah, but it's not predetermined winners.
Okay.
It's Kumite.
Because this is Moxley.
I would say it's on the version of a Kumite. It's Moxley
and Smith.
Moxley versus Smith Jr. You got Cobb versus Filthy Tom, Dickinson versus Kratos, Romero versus Grimm, and there's a couple more fights, but those are like the headliners. So if you haven't watched the Bloodsport yet, I would suggest checking it out. It is.
What's that on?
It's on Fight TV at 9.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would recommend that if you're looking for something to watch that's different, that is probably the closest thing that you'll get to like a real life version of like pro wrestling and UFC combined.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah. So that's on tonight. And then I did also want to bring up, we talk about Tom Brady and greatness and stats and everything else. LeBron James this week became the third player to score over 35,000 points in the NBA. But that's not that crazy. The crazy stat is all-time consecutive double-digit scoring games. LeBron James has 1,024 consecutive games scoring in double digits. The next closest person to him is Jordan with 866. Kareem is third with 787. Karl Malone is 4 with 575. And Kevin Durant is fifth with 562. So he's scored double digits in 1,024 consecutive games. That's nuts. To have that many games, not only to have that many games played, but to not have an off night where you're just clanking up bricks, and you're still able to put up double digits. To me that's one of the more impressive stats that I've seen recently.
And that's an attest to your health too, how long you can stay on the court.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. To get to that,
absolutely, absolutely. But that's all I've had in for this week in sports. I don't
just a couple other NHL games this weekend. They're doing the outdoor games at Lake Tahoe. So today at 3 p.m. it's the Vegas Golden Knights versus Colorado Avalanche, and then tomorrow they moved it to 2 p.m. It was supposed to be at 3, but they've moved it to 2 p.m. now. Is Philly versus Boston Bruins.
That ring looks beautiful on the lake.
So no fans. It's just.
Or that's the one with the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that on? What is that on? Where can you watch that at? Is that on NBC Sports?
Probably NBC Sports. I'll take a look.
And you said that's tonight?
3 p.m. today, 2 p.m. tomorrow.
And then
the Lake Tahoe is tomorrow, right?
Both games are playing. Yeah, both games. They're both outdoor games.
Yeah, but which one's today and which one's tomorrow?
Vegas is today at 3. Vegas versus Colorado.
Okay.
And then tomorrow's Philly Boston at 2.
Okay.
And then Naomi Osaka won the
Australian
Open early this morning.
Yeah, I was pulling for Serena.
Same here.
Yeah,
I wanted her to get it. It sucks when you're in that draw and you're on the same side of the bracket as Naomi. Even though Naomi was the 3 seed, which I was a little surprised at. I thought she would have been the number 1 seed, but
yeah.
When do the men's play?
They play today, which will be tonight for us.
Yeah, like 3 a.m. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
We'll go with Djokovic because I don't know who Medvedev. I've never seen it.
Both NHL games in Lake Tahoe are on NBC, not NBC Sports, just on NBC.
And has anyone seen fan-controlled football yet?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
I didn't see this.
I was gonna save it for the end. I was gonna save it for the end of the sports segment. I'm glad you brought that up. That is hilarious. And
it's like indoor football.
It's arena football.
It's like some weird other rules.
It's arena football, right? But fans call the plays.
Interesting.
It's basically like real life Madden.
So the ass Madden.
Like Marshawn Lynch is the owner of a team. He was on commentary. He's hilarious.
Go.
I'm gonna eat this Caesar salad. I'm gonna take a shit and get my stomach right, and then I'm gonna come back and figure out how to rush for 200 yards on this 50-yard field.
Go.
So he's on commentary.
What's that on?
It's on Twitch.
Okay.
It's on Twitch. Miro is one of the owners of one of the teams.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would watch that. Yeah, there's no.
So how does that work? Is there like a delay in calling the action because of the fans' involvement, or
that I'm not sure of.
I mean, it's so quick. I don't think they're.
Yeah, like
if the fans, is it like the fans want to call the play? Is that how it works, or
it might be like a fan vote?
So is this like that's what I'm about to say. Is it like a fan vote where it's like whatever popular out of these plays? Whatever the fans want, like the most popular one.
They probably give you a playbook and then let you pick what to play next.
It's literally playing real life Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you consider that to be more esports, or do you consider that being more regular sport?
Regular.
Yeah.
Esports is all you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regular, you gotta rely on somebody else to.
So maybe
like a hybrid of the two a little bit as well. With the fan interaction.
Yeah, there's no extra points. There's only 2-point conversions, and it's one-on-one matchups. So you have wide receiver versus cornerback one-on-one for a 2-point conversion.
And that's going on now.
The QB takes the ball off a stool.
Yeah, QB takes the ball off a stool. Yeah, and then they have the one-on-one matchup. Yeah, listen, Johnny Manziel is in the league. He played. They kind of threw him under the bus with his stat line after the game. They showed that ESPN kind of did him wrong. He was like 1 of 5 for 26 yards passing, and he had 78 yards rushing or something like that. But
did you see his backup?
Yeah,
scrambling all over the place.
I think, honestly, this. I mean, if you take it for what it is, right?
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment. It's exactly what it is. It's entertainment. It's a way for players to keep playing, to earn some money. I think it's formatted and it's built perfectly for something to be streamed on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's the perfect format for it. So, I'm hoping it does numbers. I'm going to tune in, the next time there's a game to watch it live. I did see the highlights. So, but yeah, it's a crazy concept.
So it'll be in the category
like another 10 to good.
I said it'll be in the category like slam ball.
Slam ball was awesome.
Slam ball was awesome.
They need to bring that back. Slam ball was the shit. I love slam ball on Spike. Loved it.
So is this going to be like a 10-12 game season, or they say?
I don't even. I honestly I didn't look into it enough to know all the specifics. I think there's 4 or 6 teams, I want to say.
Is it on weekends? Is that what they're going to play? If they have a game this weekend, maybe I'll check it out.
I think, but I don't know how you view a Twitch lineup or see when something's going to come on Twitch.
Probably just go on there if they have a website for the league.
Yeah. So I'll look that up. But yeah, no, if you just want something just to kill time with and look and see, like I would highly suggest checking out the Fan Football League. It's pretty great. So
and then there's something that there's this thing on Snapchat called Fight Ball. I was showing Dawn. It's one-on-one basketball. Yeah. It's full court, but it's like not the size of full court.
Okay.
One-on-one, and there's like no fouls. And you're playing for money. It is crazy.
Clothesline tackle. Oh man, it is crazy.
So it's just like me hooping down Collingwood back in the day. Like, I mean, you know, you gotta call your own foul. It's like in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, where Michael Irvin's just beating the shit out of him and he's not calling fouls. That's pretty much what it is, one-on-one.
Yeah.
I'm on that Fan League site right now. There's 2 games today and 2 games tomorrow.
Awesome. What time are the games on?
No, 2 games today and then 2 games next weekend. Sorry, my bad.
What time are the games today?
Today, 5 p.m. Pacific. So what's that? 8 our times. Then there's a 6 p.m. So 9 p.m.
And it's on Twitch, correct?
It doesn't say, but that's
Twitch. Okay. I'm about to check that out for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't say it, but that's probably where it's at.
They're trying. They're making sports for everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why not? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they got to break in something with a different niche.
Hey, listen.
And if you want to be an owner, you can donate to them on their website, and for a minimum investment of $150.
Yo, we might have to throw in the 4 of us and just own a team.
Oh, man.
It's kind of like on a Kickstarter page.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, you can invest for a minimum of $150.
We may have to take that conversation offline. We'll be talking about putting money out and sponsoring a fan football league team. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right. Anybody got anything else in sports before we jump into the world famous, world renowned One Gotta Go?
I'm good.
All right, let's get into it because everybody's been waiting on it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to episode 25 of the Dumb Marks podcast. Remember that we are live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So please subscribe, like, and follow our social media pages so you can get alerts when we go live each week. Our audio-only edition of the podcast is released every Monday to listen on demand on all your favorite podcast platforms. So make sure you subscribe to our social media pages of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DumbMarksPod. Message us during the shows while you watch live, or even email us at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Anybody have anything before we get into One Gotta Go?
I gotta stop drinking coffee before this podcast. Like,
I almost said something to you this morning about this, but
between the coffee and then the beer and then the bubbly, like it's just like every single pod, like I'm holding out and I'm like, I'm gonna make it through, and then I'm like, you know what, you gotta drop me or else I'm gonna sit here and just maybe I'll go with the Elimination Chamber sponsor and get an order. Depends while I sit here and do the podcast. All right. Anybody got anything else before we hop in and I get the shit on Donald for his bad takes today?
Let's do it.
Hey, I killed off Mufasa last week and I got no backlash. So for those of you that said I was wrong, look at this freaking. This is easy for me.
Easy.
Donald, you created this one, correct?
Yeah, yes, I did. Right in my wheelhouse.
Nah, he set this one up.
Go ahead.
Set this one up.
Yeah, I feel looking at this graphic, knowing that you created this may be a little. There's definitely bias played into this.
Yeah.
Given your answer here, I think I know where that bias lies. But go ahead, since you created it, let's kick this one off. One gotta go. What you got?
Everybody knows I hate Chick-fil-A to death. That is brainwashed chicken for sure, but it gets to stay because Boston Market is the worst food I ever had. Boston Market got to go.
Breathe.
There is nothing
through the nose, out through the mouth.
The only thing good at Boston Market is their Southwest salad. That's it.
What?
You are out of your mind.
Who goes to Boston Market for a salad?
Have you
That's how bad their chicken is.
Have you never had their chicken pot pie?
Yes, I did, and it's nasty.
Oh my god!
Their rotisserie chicken is garbage. Southwest salad is the best thing they have. So Boston Market, get out of here.
I'm pretty sure Banquet and Marie Callender has a better pot pie. The best thing in Boston Market to me is the mashed potatoes and corn. Boston Market got to go.
Oh my god! You too.
Well, they got to. Also, this was our meeting spot if our store was ever on fire.
Yep.
And I've never stepped foot in the Boston Market, but somehow always had Boston Market. It's trash.
Chris,
I used to really like Boston Market, but I do think that their product's gone downhill lately. Out of the four, Boston Market got to go.
Jeez, oh man. Well, like last week, I got to speak some logic into this.
Hey, look, I've never even had that much Popeye's chicken. I've used Popeye's chicken more for a bathroom.
Well, that's exactly where you need to go because it's the shits. Popeyes can go. Get out of here. Popeyes. The chicken sandwich that hyped up all the chicken sandwiches. I've never even had that chicken sandwich, and I don't plan on eating that chicken sandwich.
I never had the spicy.
I had Popeyes one time. It was garbage. I didn't finish it, threw it out, and I've never been back since. And they're just getting ready to open a Popeyes down the street from me, and I will drive by and never pull into it. So Popeyes can hit the bricks.
We might have to read this after that Popeyes opens.
Wherever that is.
Boston Market got it. Oh my god. Somebody, y'all parents screwed y'all up. There's definitely some, yeah.
Hey, Boston Market got me, kind of ruined me whenever they got rid of their stuffing a year or two ago. When they stopped selling stuffing, it's just like, why? That was one of their biggest items that I always got.
Did they have fried chicken?
No.
Just
rotisserie.
Rotisserie.
And you pick rotisserie chicken over fried? Any fried? No.
Over Popeye's fried? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's leaving KFC there, and they don't even call it Kentucky Fried Chicken because it's not even real chicken, and I still left that on the board.
That's a staple. That's never going to go. I don't care how shit it is. It's never going to go.
KFC, I'll eat the sides from KFC all day long. Mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, potato wedges. I'll eat the sides all day long. Definitely. Popcorn chicken, I'll eat the popcorn chicken. If I'm going to KFC, I'm getting sides: biscuit, coleslaw, mashed potatoes, gravy, and that's what I'm eating.
They killed me whenever they took the wedges away and put in just regular fries.
I don't like the fries.
I don't like the fries. No.
Well, I don't like you guys for getting rid of Boston Market. And since I spoke that much negativity, I'm going to read off my quote this week from Bruce Lee, who said, "Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself, and you can change your life. What you're not changing, you're also choosing." And with that, you can catch us around the way.